Hi guys, Karen here. I had a video request for some equipment reviews, equipment purposes, how they all work and function. So I figured I would hop on here and explain them all. Not all of them though, actually. I'm only going to be going over 4 today, the 4 most common used ones. I'm not going to be touching on any of the corrective ones as far as prong collars go and choke chains and e-collars and all that stuff, but I'm going to be going over a regular flat collar, a martingale style collar, a front clip harness, and a head halter. I like all of these. I've used 3 out of the 4 on CJ, and I will tell you which one I haven't used when we get there. So first I'm going to start by showing you walking CJ on a regular flat buckle collar. I'm hoping that he'll be naughty for us so you can see the difference, but you know, he's kind of learned a thing or two. Alright, so I'm going to start by putting my leash on just CJ's collar, and I'm going to take him for a walk. Gotta be naughty, okay? Well, he's choosing to be very well behaved tonight. But basically what happens when we walk our dog on a collar, we are doing a lot of pulling on their neck and a lot of pressure on their throat. And a lot of really important things for our dogs run through there. So it's not the best thing to use with your dog. If your dog is well trained to walk nicely on a loose leash, it can be fine, but if your dog does a lot of pulling, you can actually do a lot of damage to your dog if you're always walking them on a leash, on their collar, and they're pulling. So now I'm going to switch over to the one that I don't use with CJ, and I'm actually not going to show it because it's very similar to the flat buckle collar, but it's the martingale collar, which is just a limited slip. So all that means is that your dog's head can't back out of the collar. So think about your dogs that have the same size head as their neck, and if they were to pull, it just tightens a little bit so that they can't back out of it. It doesn't choke them or anything like that, but it just prevents them from escaping their collar. Now, the one that I walk CJ on all the time, CJ, come. My contestant has left. Let's see if we can get him interested again. Good boy. Anything for food. So this is not the Easy Walk harness, but it works just the same. This is the Freedom harness. I just have made the switch over to this just because. I still use the Easy Walk harnesses. This is just the one I've been using lately, so it was easiest to grab. It was on top of the pile. So now this leash gets clipped to the front of CJ. So it's right between his legs. I'm not sure if you can see that or not. But now, if he did go to pull ahead, let's see if I can be mean. I'm going to toss a treat. If he pulls, it turns him back to me. I think he was out of shot there. Let me back up again. So all it's going to do is I toss that treat, he goes to get it, but when he pulls, it turns him back to me. I'm going to walk him closer so he can get that treat because that's not fair, but I needed him to be naughty. So when you clip it to the front of their chest, it just works with the natural pressure points in their body, that when they feel that pressure, it turns them back towards you instead of continuing to pull forward. Now, there is a clip on the back of these Freedom harnesses because they're a 2 attachment point, like you can attach the leash to the front and the back. I don't use that. I don't like it because when you clip the leash to the back and your dog pulls, it encourages the pulling and they're going to want to pull harder. So a front clip harness is the way to go. Now, last but not least, the last piece of equipment that I use with CJ is a head halter, a gentle leader. There's all kinds of different names out there, but this is what it looks like. So it's just, it's a gentle leader. It's a head halter. This one isn't his, so it's not sized. But what it is, CJ, is it goes over their muzzle, and they can still bite, bark, chew, everything in the head halter. He hasn't worn one of these in a while, so he might fight it a little bit because there is some training that goes into it. But all it does is it gives you control over their noggin. So when he pulls ahead, I can turn his head back towards me. Or if I'm in a busy crowd, I know you don't feel like I'm overworking. I don't want to do this. When you're in a busy crowd somewhere, it gives you just that much more control over your dog, because it's very much like horse equipment. You just have control over the bitey end. So I hope this answers any questions you guys have about the types of equipment that I recommend. If you have any more questions, or if you couldn't quite see CJ, let me know and I'll be happy to answer them for you guys. Bye.